Hello and welcome to the Nexus Connection. I am Alan, and today we're going to talk about data science and data analytics. These things, data in general, can destroy anything, can destroy a government, can destroy a company, a business, a corporation, or can create great things. I will tell you why, but first, I will introduce you to the very first video of our 7-video series about the 7 skills that will make you future-proof. So what is being future-proof? We don't have a very specific explanation for that, but basically is when you have enough skills and competencies that will allow you to navigate the world, navigate your work, your business, your challenges in general aspects of your life, academic, personal, whatever, in a more relaxed way, in a more sophisticated way. So instead of worrying about the future, instead of waiting for the future to happen to you, with those abilities, you can kind of create your own future. You can choose your own path. Of course, I'm talking about mostly professionally, but you also can do that with your personal life, because once you have some sorts of autonomy, you can have intellectual autonomy, you can have financial autonomy, and you can have technical autonomy. You become a person who is able to create your own reality. Yeah, you become a person who's able to navigate different challenges and choose things more quickly, more intelligently. Yeah, so instead of life happening to you, of course there are exceptions. Yeah, we don't control everything, but instead of life happening always to you and you always catching up to life, when you navigate the world with those skills, you usually get more control over, because you are more informed. You can work with different kinds of people and challenges and jobs and solutions and technologies. And consequently, you are able to make better choices. But yeah, so this is what we call usually future-proof. But how can you become future-proof? First, we have to look at this. Whoop, let me see. Here. Yeah, it's inverted. It's mirrored. Yeah, okay, there you go. So this is from Hayes. I found it online. First, we have to understand what is a skill and what is a competence. Yeah, a competency is way more complex. That's why we study. That's why we are Nexialists. That's why we are multidisciplinary people that want to learn throughout our lives. Yeah, a skill is just one granular ability, one granular thing that you can do. For example, here on the screen, you can see coding. Yeah, let's say that you know how to write a software code in Python. That's a skill. That's a very good skill. Yeah, no problem at all. But can you solve a social problem with that skill? Can you connect the ideas that you need, the underlying solutions that you need to solve a larger problem? That's the kind of people that the world will be needing now. Yeah. People that can connect different skills and solve problems with their skills. Solve problems, create solutions, whatever it is. Let's say, for example, that you can handle accounts. Yeah, you can handle like all the Google Drive, all the Google Docs, all the Google Forms that you need for your client or for multiple clients of your employer. Yeah, that's okay. That's a great skill. You managed it. Yeah, nice. Kudos for you. But can you actually navigate that information? Can you actually think critically like that here? Think critically enough so that you can really create some strategic planning for your clients, yeah, for your future clients. So that's a competency. Yeah, same thing. You can write really well. Yeah, you can write really well. You can understand contracts. You can understand pros and cons of a deal or anything like that. But can you actually sit in front of a person and negotiate with them and navigate that conversation, that difficult conversation, until both parties are either happy or satisfied with the result? That's negotiation. Yeah, it's a skill. It's meaning it's not just a skill, it's a competency. Okay, so with that in mind, that's very important. Yeah, so let's start navigating the new paradigm. Okay, so we have a new paradigm. I hope you can see it. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. There you go. Yeah, it's a little bigger for you. The new paradigm promotes new interpersonal relationships. So the way that people, for example, I'm 32. It was just my birthday, 32 years old. The way that people dealt with each other in the past when I was younger is completely different than the way that people are dealing with other people nowadays. Do you understand that difference? Do you understand why that difference is? And how can you navigate that? That's more than a skill. That's a competency. Yeah. Most importantly for us that are building our career, corporate relationships are changing and nobody really understands what's happening. Yeah. So we have contractors in Brazil. We have people acting like they are businesses, they are companies, they are corporations, when in fact they're just service providers. Yeah. When in fact they should have been full-time employees with all their rights. So the law is changing. Is it a good change? Is it a bad change? How can you navigate that? That's a competency. That's something that you should be able to navigate well and should understand well. Yeah, personal development. In the past, people would find a trek, find something to do, and they would be very good at it. They would be the best accountants there ever were. They would be the very specialized accountant in the oil industry ever. Nowadays, it's not like that all the time. I can't say that it's not like that at all, but most of the time it's not like that. Yeah. So personal development changed. We have to think about our personal development as people, because working is not just typing things or solving the problems that were giving to us. Working nowadays is kind of thinking critically. It's kind of thinking about the other people. It's kind of talking to people is part of your work. Understanding the scenario, making decisions in the right time is part of the work. So personal development is way more than just like learning how to do your craft, learning how to do your job, and being quiet and retiring. You know, things are changing, and either you accept it or not, things are changing. So that's the point. So I always tell my students, I have over 12,000 students and mentees, it's too risky to expect the world to be fair. I mean, I do expect it, and it is sometimes, but not always. But you have to take control of your life. And the way that I found that it's good, it's learning those things, understanding what's happening, and adapting in a healthy and in a sustainable way. Okay, careers are changing. Yeah, in the past, people would have one or maybe two careers in their lives. Now people are having several. People are having multiple careers at the same time. And some people are managing to do that in a healthy way, without burnout, without being tired, with a somewhat balance between work and personal life. Yeah. So let me put that back on the smaller size. Another thing, entrepreneurship and digital creation are becoming one thing. You can have a very physical business and still need the digital world, digital skills and things like that. So it's very important to understand. And we have some interpersonal skills that are very important nowadays for your career. Not just leadership in the sense that you're going to manage people, but leadership in the sense that you can get people to do things, you follow an ideal, motivation, self-motivation, and the ability to motivate others, responsibility, teamwork, active listening, caring. Yeah, those are very difficult things to have all the time. Yeah, but those are very, very important things. Okay, so, okay. How can you become future-proof just through some competencies or some abilities or some skills? Yeah, so we're going to talk about all of those throughout this series. I'm going to start with data analysis, but we're going to talk about all of them. So design expertise, not just graphic design, but thinking like a designer or using design thinking methodologies. Automation, sustainable automation, and artificial intelligence. Applied research, and that's a very deep topic, so we're going to talk about it in a different video. Education fundamentals, so how do people change their behaviors? How do people motivate themselves, and how they learn things? These are very important things to learn. Marketing, especially marketing strategies, and today we're going to talk about data analysis. Okay, so what is data analysis? So in a very simplistic way, data science or data analysis, there's a difference between data analysis, data science, and data engineering, okay? So in a very broad way, data analysis is the ability to collect, treat, or clean data and make sense of this data so it becomes information, or it becomes wisdom, or it becomes other things that will guide decisions in different areas. Can be education, for example, learning analytics, can be in business analytics, can be in different areas like people analytics for HR, can be multiple ways. But the fact is, you have to understand how to represent the world very quickly, very precisely through data. So we have to represent the real world, the real people's preferences and interests and weaknesses and strengths through data. And then we can look at that data and make decisions. Sounds easy when I say, and it should be easy, relatively easy. But what is the problem when we talk about data analytics? Yeah, people see this world as very technological and very hard to do, but it's not. With ChatGPT, with all the YouTube videos, it's very easy to get started. And I will show you how. Just follow, like, and comment if you're interested, and I can teach you the basics of analytics, of Python programming, of metrics, of everything like that. And I haven't still told you how analytics can destroy or create amazing things. We'll get there. Just hang in there, yeah? Governments are now starting to use, this is supposed to be someone in the government, but governments are now starting to use data more actively. They're trying to map the world. They're trying to use KPIs, which are key performance indicators. And something that's very, very interesting is that governments, oh, now there it is, governments, when they choose to look at data, or to collect data, or to influence metrics and goals in a certain way, you can see how the employees or the population change their behavior. They start acting in a different way. And it's very interesting for us to understand, because if you work in a business, if you have a business, or if you have your own life, you can look at this narrative, you can look at the data with this different narrative, and it makes a whole world of difference. Yeah. So what am I talking about? I am talking about output versus outcome. Yeah. So when we talk about management, you can manage people and you can give them goals and metrics and indicators, and you can focus on the output or you can focus on the outcome. Depending on the way that you manage people and you manage groups, large groups of people inside businesses, inside governments, wherever you want to go. When you talk about outputs, you're literally talking about the smallest indicator that you can have. For example, a teacher is evaluated or a school is evaluated by the final grades of every student. So this is just the output, yeah? Or for example, a city is evaluated and given rewards, bonuses, and everything based on the amounts of arrests that were made. It's a very specific indicator, yes? The policeman arrested 250 people. Amazing, that's good. It's indicating that work was done. But it also motivates people to be rewarded. Yeah, we can talk about behaviorism. It's a learning theory, but it's also a motivational theory. That if you reward a specific behavior, people will automatically repeat that behavior and create scenarios in order to get more of that result. So if you're giving rewards to policemen based on the amounts of arrests, consequently, they might do something that we call gaming in data. Yeah, what's gaming? It's changing scenarios. Yeah, there are some movies in Brazil. If you watch Elite Squad, Tropa de Elite in Brazil, they even move bodies from one city to another to change data. Yeah, they even change the way the people died. Like they want to indicate that people died in waters. Yeah, because it's a different indicator. It doesn't affect the police or it doesn't affect other groups. Yeah, so if it's drowning, it wasn't a murder. Yeah, so it's basically like that. So this is output-based management. Is it completely wrong and terrible? No, it's good in different ways. But you have to think of the consequences. When you apply output data management or output management, output-based management, usually the output that's being measured will be motivated, will be escalated, okay? But when we talk about outcomes, it's a general set of indicators. For example, instead of focusing on the amount of arrests, you can focus on the reduction of violent crimes. We are still open to interpretation because while amounts of arrests are very easy to measure, amounts of dangerous crimes or violent crimes are kind of more difficult because those can be subjective definitions. Yeah, so you can say that a violent crime is this, I could say that it's that. That's also gaming. Yeah, but still, outcomes are usually better. Not always. I can't say that it's always, but it's usually better because we can kind of integrate different metrics and we can motivate a whole group of people, not just the individual. That's hard to manage, just the individual, and hard to motivate and reward just the individual. But when we talk about a group of people and we have clear outcomes and sometimes clear outputs to achieve certain outcomes, the whole group will motivate themselves. The whole group will usually collaborate to achieve that outcome. Yeah, so this is very interesting. And how we do this, it's fairly technical, but not that much. Yeah, we have Google Colab, we have Google Drive, we have Microsoft Excel. We have different ways. The only thing is we need to understand what's our approach to measuring the outputs or the outcomes. Yeah, the way that we do it technologically, it could be on a piece of paper. Honestly, it's more difficult for sure. It's way more difficult. Well, you could do it in an Excel sheet. You can do it on a Google Colab data set. You can use Python. You can use ChatGPT, different AIs. The way you do it doesn't really matter. It's how you do it with the people. It's how you communicate it with two people. It's how you measure it properly. It's how you reward it. It's how you continually improve it without punishment. Yeah, so these are small things that we can and will definitely talk about if you're interested. So I'm waiting for your comment down here. Are you interested in more of that? What are you interested in? What would you like to discuss more in this channel in future videos? Okay, but yeah, that was pretty much the basics of output and outcome. And to wrap this up, to finish this, one of the biggest challenges that could destroy data science, you saw the potential to create great things. Imagine you can map the world, you can understand what people are doing, what people are not doing, and what's the effect of it in real world. What's the consequence? What's the long, short term of all of the actions that are being taken? But one of the biggest challenges that I want to really close this with is when data is siloed. Yeah, what's siloed data? So imagine that all of those silos, really real silos, yeah, they are different government departments, they are different business departments, and they have their own method of management, their own method for data collection, their own method of questionnaire, their own method of rewarding people and analyzing data, and then they have to communicate with each other. It's really difficult, right? Because one is literally speaking one language and the other is communicating a different language with different parameters, with different goals, with different actions and ways to communicate. So what's the main challenge when we have multi-departmental strategies and data collection initiatives? Yeah, so we have to kind of do that rod on top. We have to connect them. We have to integrate them. So that's why we use a lot of more advanced data engineering, data science strategies, because sometimes the data that's coming from one of those silos does not communicate with this one or this one. So we have to kind of translate it so that the data is universal. Yeah, everyone can connect and conversate with each other. Yeah, so that's very important. So if one department is talking about sales, the other department might be talking about customer satisfaction. The other is talking about, I don't know, amount of complaints. Yeah, so how can we communicate those and create goals and strategies and outcome or output based management initiatives to solve problems, create value, and innovate even more. Yeah, so that's basically it. Guys, let me take this one off. And I am Alan. As I said, I hope you liked this video. Tell me what you liked most, and we can reproduce, we can create more videos, we can do more of this. I will make other 6 videos about the other 6 skills, the other abilities that I mentioned, and I hope you do like it. And if you do like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Yeah, follow for more videos. See you in the next video.